Hi, True Nature Medicine Tribe. It is Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature. And you might have noticed I've been a little quieter than usual. I've been in some deep introspective. I've been traveling a bit at the moment, and there's just so much change going on at the moment in my life, in my client's life, with what's going on in Standing Rock and what's happening in the US at the moment with the elections, and what's happening as far as moving toward a feminine economy. And gosh, I was just remembering the other day, how could 10 years go by since I had my baby, and I didn't know if I even wanted children at that stage. But when I did fall pregnant with her at 40, I was just kind of like, how am I going to do this? I was so used to being independent, being an entrepreneur, putting my energy into my business, and I was pretty scary. But when I look at her now at 10, all grown up and so brilliant, I see so many women that are coming to me to ask me to help them with their businesses or their health and their lives, and most of them are telling me that they just don't feel like they're ever enough. And that's something that I really resonate with a lot in my own life. And they don't know how they're going to take their business to the next level, and they leave always feeling empowered and seeing the gift of who they are. And when we tap into that part, the self-saboteur that's sort of telling you, if you're listening to this and you're hearing that voice and it's winning and you're exhausted, I want you to know there is a different way to get focused and empowered and inspired with focus action rather than busy action that isn't really generating any profit or getting you where you want to go. And I see women time and time again, and I'm pretty picky about the women that I work with, but it's always amazing how, when you're aligned to the truth of what you've come here to be and who you're here to serve and what you stand for, the clients organically always find me. And when they do, they're always afraid to sell at the level of their true value because they can't even see how valuable their gifts are. And maybe you're trying to find a way to come into a new way of being in your gifts, in your talents and your capacities, and in mastering high-end sales and leads that lead you to play on the floor with your children, or taking a walk in nature, or leaning against a tree and just doing a video like this. And it's all about planting seeds in, and for me, bringing water to communities and working for causes, and being able to volunteer with the rhinos and the elephants where I live, and be able to do that, and if anyone's telling you need a massive email and products and programs and funnels, and that you have to do it a certain way and you've got to spend a lot of money doing it, I want you to know, I've spent a ton of money over the last 25 years of being in this business of life transformation and healing. And I've invested in great mentors and great formulas and programs. Jeff Walker's product launch formula is fantastic. It just didn't work for me because I work very counterintuitively, and I'm into looking at how can I support my business in a way that is a little softer and not so pushy. And if it isn't a risk, and if you don't have options and choices, when you get to those thresholds where you know that you're all in and there's no going back, this is where you have to look at, is it risky business or is it choice? And for me, it's always about choice to lean in. And I love that. I heard Gary Vee say that the other day, that unless you're going to die, always play long term. And I'm in this for the long run, and it's about being rational and very clear, very focused. And I don't see a lot of people living from that space. It's all irrational and it's scattered, and it's kind of like throwing spaghetti at the ceiling and hoping it sticks, and you're working too hard and you're following models, and your business is owning you, and you haven't got time to be with your kids. And it doesn't have to be that work, but what I know does work, because it's worked for me in building multi businesses and making a ton of money. And it's worked for a lot of my clients that are looking at rewiring their nervous systems, and they're doing the shadow work, and they're really getting some skin in the game and being honest with themselves. They're not buying into the old stories, so that they can earn the money that they deserve, and have a life that they love, that's sweet and beautiful. And in order to live deeply happy, you have to use your gifts at a high level. And when you do, you'll find the diamonds in the dust. You'll see that you've been sitting on them the whole time and you didn't even know that they were there. And I know how to get you to that place, if that's something that interests you. You know, a lot of people think I only work with chronic disease and with health. And you know what? The funny thing is that I do, because your business is your life. And if you're not healthy, and you're not rewiring those parts of your brain that are stuck in the old stories of trauma and drama and emergency, you're going to keep struggling, and you're going to keep working too hard, and you're going to keep being stuck in not enough. So you have to heal issues in your tissues. You have to look at your stories. You have to go deep, and it's painful, I know, but it's an integral part of the work, so that your roots are strong. And when you start to apply the systems and the business strategies, not somebody else's 12 steps or 5 keys, or, you know, something that is outside of you, that's when you start to get traction and momentum, and you can create the ease and the abundance. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy and that it's not going to be hard, but it's about working smarter and more intuitively, rather than harder and outwardly driven. And that's the rite of passage. So if that's something that interests you, you know, I'd love to talk to you. I want to see you living into your legacy. And I take people through this all the time in their own unique prescription, because what works for one person doesn't work for another person. You know, and let's face it, the way that you're doing business right now, the way that you're doing things in your life, aren't working for you. So let's just get really honest with that right now, with a big dose of love, because it is possible to change your reality, and it just takes one, you know, take one step. Look at risks where you're holding yourself back, and look at where you're going all in, and there is no risk anymore. And I've got some amazing tools to get you started. So, you know, even if this isn't the right time for you, I'll love you anyway. And if you don't feel like you're at that level where you're ready to sell big programs or small programs or big retreats or little retreats, just take one small step with consistent action every single day. And, you know, this is what I'm going to share with you if you book a clarity discovery session, so that you can tap into your diamond brilliant zone of genius, of your brilliance, of doing life your way. And you can start using those steps right away. To create your life and to have abundance, so that you can do more. And if you don't want to sell at 5 or 10K, maybe this isn't for you. But what have you got to risk? What have you got to lose by just listening anyway? You know, I want you to start 2017 off really, really strong. And I've opened bookings for Facet, the one-on-one 6-month program. And I'm going to start looking at ways that I can also start to hold space for you in a group if you're not ready for the one-on-one stuff. And all you have to do is say yes, and get curious about what do you want. And, you know, how sick and tired are you of working yourself to the bone with little to show for it? You know, and, you know, it ends when you say it ends. And I'm here to hold your hand if you'll take it, and guide you back to owning and claiming your own unique gifts and capacities. And you can have that. You can have more time with your kids. That's the invitation. You can have more time traveling the world. You can be a suitcase entrepreneur, but you have to choose it. And I'm here. I'm here in celebration, and I want to be there to support you if this is something that interests you. If you've been sitting on the fence, you know, I want that for women like you, because your gifts are amazing and incredible and unique, and you can't see it when you're drowning in your business. You know, you have to work on your business. You can't do that when you're in it. And you certainly can't do that when you're exhausted and you're trying to be everything to everyone. And there's easier ways, and it's not as difficult as you think it is. All it takes is some commitment, getting some skin in the game. And you know, I'm blown away again by the amount of incredible women that within 2 days of putting the invitation out for the gifted, the envisioning beyond 27 program. It's a one-day beautiful creative process in Johannesburg, and it's happening this Saturday and Sunday. It sold out in about the first day that the invitation was out there, and I'll probably be doing another one. So if you were looking at that and you were fence sitting, you know, I can guarantee not only will you be sitting in circle with incredible entrepreneurs and women that are committed to making positive impact in the world and leading events that change lives, but you're going to leave with your manifesto, with your commitment to yourself by the time you leave, and a plan that you're going to start putting in action in the next couple of weeks that we've got left of 2016, so that you start strong. And who knows, maybe we'll turn that into some bite-sized chunks this week of just baby steps, one step that you can take every day to just start getting your mind focused on what it is that you want and where you want to go with your life, where you want to go into living your legacy, and who you want to serve. You know, what do you want, where do you want to be? So if that interests you, let me know. Post your comments and questions below. And short and sweet today. We're going into the November energies where pericardium, the fire energies of the pericardium are at their peak in the Chinese medicine Freedom 5, the Art of Stressless Living class. So if you're in that group, we're meeting tonight. Clocks have turned back in America, so we're at 8 p.m. South African time tonight, not 7. And we're going to really look at, you know, what does it take to keep the left ventricle of the heart, which is all about receiving, open, and how you can support your body and the fire energy of the heart, of loving what is, loving what arises, really strong, and keep those fires really burning. And that now's the time to stoke it. Now's the time to really start to burn away the old as we leave the 9 energy of 2016 and move into a 1 energy of rebirth and new beginnings. And you can't do that if you're not stoking the fire, feeding the fire in your belly, and really tapping into what it is that you stand for. So let me know how this resonates with you. Nice to see you, Jocelyn. All my beautiful favorites. Not supposed to have favorites. Hi, Christine. Hi, Christina. Yeah, tell me what's coming up for you. Tell me how you're stoking the fire, keeping your heart open to receiving the new energies, and what are some of the inspired small steps that you're going to take right now, today. Write your commitment below so we can really witness you and hold you in that place of opening your heart to abundance, to joy, to living deeply happy and healthy and fulfilled. And I will speak to you maybe tomorrow. All right, lots of love. Oh, and remember, the world isn't waiting for someone like you. The world is waiting for you and what only you have to give to the world. And I can't wait to celebrate and share your message with the world. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.